We're live, Steve.
Think anybody's going to see us tonight since it's not our normal night? It's our former normal.
Well, there were two people waiting.
Wow.
When I posted when I went to go look at the live link on YouTube. So, I mean, there's that.
I actually got the notification on my phone, so.
That we were live?
Yeah.
Well, look at that.
Don't usually see that. That's pretty good.
Well, we are. So, there's that, Steve. I mean, it is Sunday. It's our old normal day, Steve.
Old normal.
Right, but an hour behind schedule of the old normal.
It's kind of a mix between the old and the new. I like that.
Yeah.
Get the best of both worlds.
Yeah. So let's just fucking get right into it, Steve.
Do it.
You're about to witness the strength of creep knowledge.
Good evening, and welcome to the Fortean Slip. This is episode 181, Murder Among the Mormons. Joining us tonight is no one.
Is that the best NPR voice you can do?
No, I could do way better than that.
It was not good.
Fuck off, Steve. Tonight we'll be discussing the events of October 15th, 1985, and what led up to that. It's presented in the documentary, now on Netflix, Murder Among the Mormons, Steve.
Oh, that's where you got the title.
I'm going to keep this voice for the entire show.
That's all right. I used to, I was a DJ a long time ago. And I had to keep that voice.
Frank Smith saying hello from Ireland. Good evening, Frank. Good to have you. Peter Higgins. Hi, guys. Is that the Wolfman?
Is he related to the Higgins from Magnum?
From Magnum?
Yeah.
I don't know. Magnum. What have you been doing, Magnum? I love that show. Magnum PI. And it holds up.
Tigers, man, because of him.
Holds up. You can still sit down and watch some Magnum PI today and enjoy that shit.
Yeah.
I think. Whereas I can try to go back and watch some other shows of that time, like Knight Rider, which I loved, and I want to punch myself in the balls repeatedly. I can't watch it. I can't. It's dog shit. I can't.
No.
I can't. Those old shows are so hard to watch now. So fucking hard. But Magnum PI. I can fucking watch it. It holds up. Who was it? Donald P. Belisario. Fucking motherfucker still makes TV shows.
Dukes of Hazzard. Dukes of Hazzard was great. That still holds up.
I don't know. I haven't tried watching the Dukes of Hazzard. What have they whitewashed the fucking car so that it doesn't have the fucking Confederate flag on it anymore?
Kind of had to, I suppose, but
no,
I still think I could watch. Well, the one I couldn't watch is Manimal. That one wasn't good then.
God, Manimal. It show like the bubbling skin, like
that show wasn't even good then. So that I can see. A-Team, Knight Rider, I think I could still watch. Dukes of Hazzard, of course.
Have you tried?
Those shows.
Have you tried to watch?
I've watched a lot of Dukes of Hazzard.
Have you watched Knight Rider though? Have you tried to go back and watch Knight Rider?
No.
I think you're gonna find if you do, you're gonna be very depressed.
I went back and watched all the Rocker Files though. Those still hold up.
The Rocker you can still watch. Fucking Columbo you can still watch.
Oh yeah, I watched a lot of that too.
I just have a question for you. Just one last question.
One more thing.
You see, these things have been racking my brain.
Love Columbo.
A great show.
Yeah.
Absolutely a great show.
Airwolf. No.
Airwolf. Street Hake.
I don't know what Street Hake is.
I know Airwolf, but
Yeah.
I know my
Airwolf
stepfather
was okay, but it wasn't great.
Yeah, my stepfather when I was a kid really liked Airwolf. Street Hawk, he says. I don't remember that. I want to say I remember something about that, but
it's probably some Irish show that we don't know about.
Yeah, some fucking thing they showed in Ireland and didn't show up here. I don't know. You people in your BBC, and your weird television with your short seasons with like only 6 episodes. I don't understand you. I don't understand you. When I want to watch fucking Sherlock Holmes, I don't want 4 episodes and then fucking wait forever for another 4.
Yeah.
That's a great show, though.
I don't know. I haven't seen that one either.
You haven't seen that with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman there?
I think my wife has watched them. She loves that show.
Great. It's great. It really is a great fucking show.
Probably is.
They do put out some good shows every once in a while over there. Yeah. So anyway, Steve, you got any news tonight?
Oh shit, news, yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised, actually.
Why should that surprise you? Katie got me news.
Well, just because I was surprised.
She always comes through.
Well, I didn't know.
Although I did decide not to do one of her stories so I could replace it with another one. But.
Oh, go ahead.
And speaking of NPR, this is from npr.org. There is now data on legalizing weed.
Data?
There's data.
Oh.
Last month, New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy signed 3 bills making it official. Marijuana will soon be growing legally in the Garden State. Oh, that's pretty cool. And it's for anyone over 21 to enjoy. The bill follows through on a marijuana legalization ballot initiative.
Yeah, because when you're an adult at age 18, why would you be allowed to partake in a substance?
Right. You could get shot being in the military.
We'll send you off
not
the war,
smoke marijuana.
But you can't smoke any chiba.
We'll let you vote. But
you can vote. But you can vote to legalize chiba. But you can't smoke it. How fucking asinine is that?
Yeah, it's all asinine. It's been almost a decade since Colorado and Washington legalized marijuana. That's given the economists and other researchers enough time to study the effects of the policies. So here are some of the interesting. Whoa! Something fell off my desk. Some of the interesting findings. Legalization did not seem to substantially affect crime rates. No shit.
Oh, imagine that.
Yeah. Proponents of legalizing weed claimed it would reduce violent crimes. Opponents said it would increase violent crimes. Neither of those things happened.
Right.
Legalization also seems to have little or no effect on traffic accidents and fatalities. No shit.
Imagine that.
I always said, man, I'll be in the car with somebody high way before I'll be in the car with somebody drunk. Way before.
Listen, let's face facts. There is a difference between being high and being drunk.
Yes.
There is a huge fucking difference. And until they accept that, there's going to be a lot of problems because I think you're going to find a lot of DUIs overturned in this whole legalization of marijuana because they don't have a baseline for fucking anything.
Legalization has barely affected the price of marijuana. Chris, you would be able to tell us the difference in price is about the same.
Actually, it dropped it initially. Initially it was really, really high. Then it dropped. And then it levels out.
Okay.
But it's at, I'll tell you right now, it's at a better price now than what I was paying before it was made legal.
Legalization has created jobs and lots of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A new report by Leafly and Whitney, economists, finds marijuana industry is booming. In 2020 alone, they calculated created 77,000 jobs. That's a lot. Legalization is good for state budgets. States, let's see, Colorado, I think it was, collected $387 million in 2020. So Legalization may be good for states' workers' comp programs. There's a lot of things that legalization is good about.
There's not a whole lot of downside to the whole thing.
Yeah,
which is it's funny that it's been so demonized for so fucking long.
Well, we know the backstory to that, but
yeah.
So that was the legalizing weed and the data thereof, and that was pretty good, actually. That was a good story. We don't have a Florida man story this week, but we do have a Florida woman story.
Oh.
Wow. Florida woman found naked in storm drain, was missing for 3 weeks.
Oh.
She got lost in a tunnel during the swim. I actually saw this one earlier in the week. I don't know why she was naked. The naked Florida woman who rescuers pulled out of a storm drain Tuesday had been missing for 3 weeks, according to local reports. Authorities said a passerby called 911 after hearing the 43-year-old Lindsay Kennedy calling for help from within an 8-foot pit at about 9 a.m. in Delray Beach. Police and firefighters removed the cap.
Put the lotion in the basket.
Police and firefighters removed the cap, lowered the ladder and harness, and pulled her to safety while holding up a white sheet.
Lotion in the basket.
While holding up a white sheet to protect the woman because, she was naked. She was seen with dirt on her feet and scraped knees. The authorities said she was so weak she couldn't stand on her own. They took her to a nearby hospital.
Was she a great big fat person?
Here's what I want to know. The rest of the story, it just is nothing, but she'll recover. What did she eat? That's what maybe I don't want to know that. What did she eat for those 3 weeks?
Good times.
Yeah. And the final story, this is the one I found, because I saw this earlier in the week too, and I thought it was perfect for our show. www.abc4.com. Difficult to explain. Pentagon to release report detailing UFO sightings. A report could be released as early as June and could detail difficult to explain UFO sightings, a top Pentagon official says.
Oh, so everything's gonna be understood? Is that what you're saying?
I watched the Fox interview, and it was pretty interesting, and they mentioned that in here, so we'll read that. During a Friday interview with Fox News, John Ratcliffe, a top intelligence official under former President Donald Trump, explained that the forthcoming report will outline a lot more sightings than have been made public. Some of those have been declassified, Ratcliffe said during the interview. That's pretty interesting right there. A lot more. I don't know what a lot more is. In April 2020, the Pentagon officially released 3 short videos, and we know all about that. What the report? Sorry, I got lost. Ratcliffe says we are always looking for an explanation. He explains about the sightings. Weather can cause disturbances. Sometimes we wonder whether or not our adversaries have technologies that are a little bit further down the road than we thought or that we realized. But there are instances where we don't have a good explanation for some of the things we've seen. According to Ratcliffe, the sightings have been seen all around the world, with most being detected by more than just a pilot or one individual. The Pentagon report is expected to be released in June, as I've said already. The previously declassified UFO videos, which you can watch on YouTube, I'm sure, show the aircraft flying at an alarming rate and performing unseemingly difficult maneuvers. If you go back and watch that Fox interview with this guy, it goes into way more depth than this story. And some of the things he said is like, we don't know,
Yeah.
So
I just think it's crazy at this point that they're coming out with so much of this shit. That is,
it was in the COVID bill. They had to release the shit. That was part of the bill, and I don't know whose idea that was.
That's weird that was part of the COVID bill.
There was a lot of stupid things that were part of the COVID bill, but I don't know whose idea it was to put that in there. I don't know where that idea came from. I'll have to look into that, but it's pretty interesting, and we've talked about it a lot. How interesting it is that they're now releasing this stuff. And you got a government official, he's not anymore, obviously, because Trump left, he left, but
right,
saying, we don't know what the fuck these things are.
Yeah.
And he said some of them, they can't be foreign technology because there's no way they're that far advanced.
Right.
So, and it's been for a long time. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think like the disclosure as far as UFOs goes within the next few years is going to be pretty insane.
Now, will we find out they're aliens from another planet? I don't know, but it's going to be some interesting stuff.
I don't know what the answer is as far as that's concerned. I just know
he stopped pretty short of saying that in the interview.
Yeah,
but indicating that it is a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But we're so close to finding out that there's fucking life on another planet. Like, not life like us, not like fucking things walking around and building shit, but they're going to find life on Mars. And when that happens, it's going to snowball. Because once you know that there's fucking life there can be life all kinds of other places.
Well, we've had evidence of that before. I mean, there was meteorites or something that can contain bacteria.
Right.
They say it was a chunk of Mars or something like that. So we kind of already know that, but
we have an idea, but they want to find actual life there. Is what they want
because they can't 100% guarantee that it didn't, become contaminated when it hit the Earth or whatever.
Right.
I understand.
So I think it'll be very interesting to see what happens.
Oh shit! And we've been doing stories on volcanoes that have life in them, the depths of the seas and under the ice and all that bullshit.
Oh yeah,
there's life on Mars.
Those what are they called? Tardigrades, the water bears or something they're called. Those things can survive like in the vents of volcanoes and like in the bottoms of those hot springs where that's volcanic activity too. And they can also survive in like the coldest regions. Like, it's crazy what those things can do. And they're amazing little creatures.
I do want to mention the story that I didn't do, and they took a piece of the Wright brothers airplane up to Mars on the thing. So there's a piece of the airplane up there now. Yeah, that's pretty fucking cool. I should have done that one instead of the marijuana one, but whatever.
The marijuana one was important. This stuff's important. We got to do it for Manny and Sal. Anyway, if you get that reference, we can be friends.
I guess we can't.
Steve didn't get it, and I don't understand why we're friends.
I have no idea. I'm sure it's a movie reference. I got that part.
Yeah.
Let me try to guess. Yeah. Let me try to guess.
That's how the gook laughs.
Taxi Driver.
No. Fucking Platoon.
Oh yeah, that one. I've watched that too, but it's been so many years. Platoon. I was a little young when I first saw Platoon.
Bonds is Bonds.
I was a little too young to watch that movie.
Oh God!
In my sheltered life,
I love Platoon. Such a great movie. We got ourselves a crusader.
I did watch it though.
It's a good movie. Good fucking movie. Anywho, so I've been reading recently, Steve. Oh, I read all the time, but
I don't read at all.
Did I tell you guys I finished Beautiful Boy?
I believe you did.
Father's story of his son's addiction, which is I liked it. I didn't. There was a lot of it I didn't like. I think he demonized marijuana a lot and praised Suboxone. And anybody that I've known that's been on Suboxone, they abuse it, or they sell it so that they can go get other shit. So Suboxone is being abused just like everything else. And I didn't find that very cool, so to speak. But I started reading a book by Kim Stanley Robinson called Shaman, and I had been wanting to read he did a Mars trilogy about how people would colonize Mars, and I guess it's like this really broad, sweeping scape of a book series because it encompasses like hundreds of years of time as he goes through how we colonize Mars. Right. And I had been interested in that series because people hail it as such a great trilogy, and but I decided to start small and read his book Shaman, which I've fucking been thoroughly enjoying. I'm more than halfway done with it. And it's a really good book. Like, it starts out, like, the book literally starts out with him stripping this he's a young man, but basically a kid, stripping him bare ass naked and sending him out to fucking survive for a month. He's got a month, and then he's got to come back home. And just how it details like how he survives that fucking month and gets back home. I was just instantly fucking hooked. And it takes place like in prehistory. Like, this is obviously not man as you know it now at all. Like, this could very well be like, you know, like an earlier version of man that he's talking about, but you wouldn't know because he's just describing what these individuals are going through. And the main character of the book is named Loon. But it's really interesting about how he's learning to become the shaman of his tribe. A very, very cool story, and I've really, really enjoyed it. But
is there a movie version?
No, Steve, there's no movie for you, so that you can, you know, check that out.
Audiobook?
Well, yeah, there's always audiobooks, Steve.
Right,
you can always
maybe I can do it that way then.
Excuse me, pick up an audiobook. Did you get a chance to watch Murder Among the Mormons, Steve? I thought you were like, oh, this sounds like something I'm interested in.
I have been so busy this week. You know how my weeks go. I'd love to watch it. I just haven't had a chance.
It's pretty.
I have something to do every single day. So.
Yeah, so do I. I work a job.
I work a
hopefully a new one soon.
Why don't you just double dip?
That's a choice.
Just do them both.
That's a choice. I'm actually considering it. I'm actually considering it for extra.
It is a choice. It is a choice for me to work more than I should, but it's also, you know, my bottom line that I have to deal with. So yeah,
it's a choice because you could survive on less.
I can't turn it off though.
That's the problem.
But you know, I enjoy it, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, you know, because I enjoy it.
Hey, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters, dude.
There's always burnout involved in anything you do, and I do suffer from that once in a while. But you know, overall, I can say I really love what I do. So
I walked into a shit show at work this morning. So
isn't that every morning?
Yeah,
good portion of them.
This morning was particularly even more of a shit show. So
yeah.
But anywho, beyond that, Murder Among the Mormons. I had delved into this documentary. Oh God, it was a few weeks ago now. And I'm a fucking documentary whore. I fucking love documentaries. I will watch just about anything if it looks mildly entertaining. I just watched through the Pharaoh versus Allen or Allen versus Pharaoh doc on HBO. Katie, have you watched through that yet?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Prepare to be horrified. So anyway, that one, like, I've never watched a Woody Allen movie in my life that I know of.
What?
If I've watched a Woody Allen movie, I'm unaware of it.
Shit, I think I've even watched one.
I've never been a fan of Woody Allen's comedy. I know a lot of the comedians that I like are fans of his. I've just never been a fan of him.
No, he's a disgusting human being.
And I've never understood why the whole thing with him and what is it, Sunyi?
Yeah, that's what makes him a disgusting.
I've never understood how that was normalized by everybody, and that it was just okay. Like, listen, if I don't give a fuck if I start dating a woman and she's got an adopted child or an actual child. If I do anything at any moment with any of those children, that is a bad thing.
Yes.
I don't care who you are. I don't care on what planet you're fucking from. It's bad.
That's yeah. That's the taboo of all taboos right there. You just don't do that.
It's just fucking bad. So, in my opinion, based on, there's, I think I think you should watch the documentary and decide for yourself, personally. But in my opinion, I can't believe that he's still walking the streets. Based on the transcripts and the stuff from the original court documents and what her daughter said happened to her, I'm horrified. I'm horrified that we let him back on the streets. Horrified. I have children.
Money, man.
I'm disgusted. If it's true, and I don't know, I don't know why a documentary would purport false documents, but yeah.
Well, the thing is, the time it happened was a little different than today. Today, I think he'd be in prison.
Today, he'd be strung up.
Yeah. And I'm not saying he should be in prison regardless.
But you know what but Steve, you want to know what that says about the time? It says that time was fucked up. That's what it says.
There was a lot of good things about that time too, but I mean, I think we've gone too far the other direction, but that's my opinion about it.
Parachute pants?
Oh man, I had a pair. Zipper pants, man. The more zippers, the better. Did you ever have any parachute pants? I'm sure you did.
No,
you lived through the 80s.
I don't think I did have parachute pants. I wound up wearing the fucking MC Hammer pants. Oh, didn't I get shamed for that shit?
Oh, you should be shamed. Even I didn't go that far, man.
My cousin convinced me to do it. The one that came on this show fucking convinced me to do it one day. We both went to school. Oh, I fucking hated myself by the end of the day, and I wanted to just fucking hang myself. Oh, it was so bad. So bad. But anyway, murder among the Mormons. So, I think it was in the late 70s and the early 80s. I want to say, I was in the 80s. It was in the early 80s. This guy came onto the scene, and he is behind me. You can see him here in the on my is it? Yeah, there. Yeah. That
guy, the second guy in.
No.
The nerdy looking dude.
Yeah, the one on the end. That guy.
The young guy.
So this guy comes onto the scene in Utah. And he grew up a Mormon. His name is Mark Hoffman. And Mark Hoffman started finding all of these strange old documents. Now, what you should know is that the Mormon Church loves their historical documents. They like to preserve their historical documents, and they like to hush up shit that does not follow the fucking the story that they want to tell, as does every fucking religion that's out there.
You're right.
If you want my fucking honest opinion. So are they any different from anybody else? No.
It might be the lengths they go to do it, yes, but
we actually have Harry Abel Potter. I am a convert to the church, so if you have any questions from that point of view, I'm willing to listen.
Convert from what?
Yeah,
just out of curiosity. Well, you may not like our discussion.
So anyway, this Mark Hoffman comes onto the scene, and this guy is just finding document upon document. He comes up with this letter that supposedly was written in Joseph Smith's own hand. And it was an actual translation that he did from the gold tablets, like right from the gold tablets to this piece of paper.
Direct.
Just amazing. So, and then he comes out with this. The one that's really famous is the salamander letter, and And of course, like this one, like purported that Joseph Smith wasn't approached by an angel named Moroni, but by a salamander. So it like totally changed, that turned things on their head when this thing came out and it was authenticated.
I bet Moroni was pretty pissed off about that.
I'm sure. So the church, the head of the church came out and said that they accepted the document because all these documents were getting proven to be, they were being proven to be real documents. So they had to accept it, but yet they put these little caveats. Well, but we don't know that it couldn't have been a forgery from back in that time. So they put those little caveats in there.
It's cover your ass.
Right. It's cover your ass time. And he, some of the stuff he donated to the church, I guess. And other stuff, he had sold, and he started working with this guy that was kind of like the go-to guy for the church, Steve Christensen. And he was like the guy that the church hired to look over this stuff because he was a book dealer, like a rare book dealer. He dealt in documents and shit like that. So he became like the go-to guy for the church to go through to get the stuff from Mark. So, and he's, just becomes a document dealer. He starts dealing in antiquities and books and documents and stuff like that. He's not, he's not only dealing in like Mormon stuff, he's dealing in other stuff. And I want to say he found, was it a Masonic thing, or it was something that he found, some document that was going to be proven to be true.
Are you talking about that a man's something with freedom? It was the first American printed document.
Oh yeah. The first American printed document or something like that.
Yeah, the first in the colonized world.
Right. And he had all kinds of people that he was working with regularly, like antiquities dealers and book dealers, like that were financing him to do buys and, and also, buying things off of him. And, he was referred to as a fucking like a rock star in that community because of the types of stuff that he was finding. And then the last thing that he came up with was the McClellan collection. I think that's what it was called. And this supposedly like turned things even more on their head for the friggin' Mormon church. He purported that the church wanted to buy this collection for $300,000. And he was working with Steve Christensen to get this whole thing to go down. He had been financed by a guy to buy it. And then was going to sell it to the church. And then on October 15th, 1985, Steve Christensen walks into his office, finds a package on the floor, and is dead moments later. There was a bomb in the package, obviously. And then I believe it was later on that very same day, the wife of Gary Sheets, I think his name was, who was not the intended victim. She died at their home when she found the package outside of their home. Now, at this point, the police and the authorities, everybody's saying that this is the work of hired assassins, that there is, this is crazy. Like, I think one of the things, the guy that was the business partner of Steve Christensen, when they walked upstairs, he was walking up with the building manager. of the building that they rented their office space from. And when they got up to the floor and they saw everything that happened, he turned to him and looked at him and said, "What kind of business are you into?" like what the fuck?
It's like espionage and shit like that. It's
right.
It seems like, yeah.
So, so all of a sudden you have these two people dead, and everybody's like wondering what's going on. And it's crazy. The following day, Mark Hoffman is found in his car with a bomb that had exploded. He's taken to the hospital. He's still alive. And the police start looking into him, but only peripherally. Now, understand that when Mark was going through all this and he's doing all these document dealings, he was making some good money off of this stuff, but he was spending a lot of money too. And he was living a lavish lifestyle. And so he was going pretty crazy. This all happens. They finally start to look into Mark, and lo and behold, there's kind of like some weird shit that starts popping up. And they find some weird stuff at his home, but it isn't a lot to determine anything. And I can't remember all the details because it was a couple of weeks ago. We didn't get a chance to do a very detailed write-up this week because I had to push the show up a day. But
I think that the big thing that made the cops keep hanging on to Mark was before his bomb in his car blew up, somebody saw a man carrying a box towards his car wearing a Letterman jacket.
That's right too. The fucking letter jacket.
There were several witnesses that mentioned the Letterman
he was
jacket.
identified dropping off the package at the building.
Yes.
And they kept coming back to that, and that's why they finally focused in on him. And there were all these people like in the documentary that had introduced Mark to like Steve or these other people, and they were like, I can't believe I could have been the cause of this, the fact that this man is dead. So they realized that it was Mark. And I can't remember, Katie and I were talking about this before the show, like whether or not, I can't remember if Mark, the bomb in his car accidentally went off or it was a planned thing. But all the stuff of the supposed McClellan collection was in the back of the car. So of course the cops are pouring all over that. And they're still like trying to determine like if these things are forgeries or not. Like, so they're sending all of his stuff off to the FBI. Well, lo and behold, the FBI comes back and says, "Hey, it's all authentic." And they're like, there's something fishy. So they go out and they get a document like one of the top document experts in the country. And he happens to be, Katie, did you get to that part?
That's like right where I got to.
Okay. So he was like, I want to say he was Mormon.
No, they were interested in having him because he grew up Catholic, and they're like, that's perfect. They wanted somebody who wasn't Mormon because too many of the people involved in the investigation.
No. They had one guy also who was Catholic. The other guy, the main guy, actually had a Mormon background.
Yes.
The reason why they brought the Catholic guy on was so that they had they didn't have a one-sided view.
Right.
So they poured over everything, and eventually they determined that they were all fucking forgeries. I think Mark actually, one of the reasons why he wound up going into debt was because to cover his ass, he was buying real historical documents and antique books.
Oh yeah, you do that.
To make things look good. on paper.
So yeah, because if you come up with all these historical documents that nobody even knew existed, and you're not getting anything that people did know
I
existed,
can't believe.
that's different.
See, here's the thing that I can't believe with this guy. Like, they even say in the documentary, we couldn't believe like how he was coming up with all of this stuff. Like, it didn't raise any red flags back then. Like at that point. But these people, that just goes to show you that when you it's like that fucking the fucking case in Pulp Fiction. You know, the fucking, you don't know what it is. It's just a fucking bright shining light, and oh, do you want to look at it?
Well, I wonder if for the most part, some of those documents didn't support their beliefs, and you know, it's confirmation
Harry,
bias.
you're full of shit. The Salamander letter was authenticated. They came out and said that it was definitely authenticated. It's in the fucking documentary. You can go and fucking watch it. So don't tell me that you're going to give me a fucking point of view that matters. Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, geez, tell them what you really think, Chris.
I'm 68 years old. I saw the news report live. Suck my dick. You feel better?
I guess you did tell them what you really thought.
Fuck.
Listen.
Jesus Christ. Tug on my bag, for fuck's sake. No, I'm not wrong. Go watch it. They had to come out and make a statement. It was either Salamander letter or the other one. It was one of them. I know that for a fact.
Even if they
authenticated it.
Even if they didn't.
Go watch the documentary, Harry. And then come back next week and tell me that you're wrong.
The fact that they accepted that letter after, let's say they didn't authenticate it, but somebody else did.
If I could fucking pop up the Netflix documentary right now and stream it to the fucking show, fuck you. Don't fucking sit there in the chat and act like you know. God, I got one of those people already. His name's Fuck Dean Cooper.
Yeah. Where is Fuck Dean Cooper?
He's never here.
Yeah, not on Sunday. No, not anymore.
He gets lost. Dean's like that old man that can't find the remote. Oh, Harry's just a troll. Harry's just a fucking troll.
I'm telling you, we've had this before where there's a certain religion that we're talking about. We'll get a troll in here that has to defend it. Yeah, I get it.
Of course, it goes against your fucking magic underwear. So, anything else you got, Harry?
I think I'd like to have some magic underwear.
I got a fucking magic pill that makes my dick hard. It's called a Blue Chew, Steve.
All right. I didn't need to know any of that. I'm sure some of the information in the Netflix documentary would be 100% because that does happen. However, I'd say I'm sure there's supporting documents.
I'm pretty sure I'm correct on this one, Steve. I just watched it right before the show.
I did not.
I just Googled it really quick, and yeah, they did even make room for it. They thought that it made sense because folklore was common in the time that it was written.
You could fucking Google it, Harry. How about you do that? Google the fucking shit. Huh?
So yes, Harry, we have done research outside of the Netflix documentary. Just now.
They authenticated it with a bit of an asterisk, but they did authenticate it.
They did authenticate it. So tongue my dirty asshole, Harry. How about that?
You're talking to a man of religion. You should be talking to him like that.
I don't care.
It's got to be offensive to him.
I don't give a shit. I've done considerable research on the subject. Have you Googled it?
From the Mormon side of things.
Yeah, from the Mormon side of you. Yeah.
And that,
how many wives you got, Harry? How many wives you got?
I'm going to tell you a little story, Harry. I did some research. I had some confirmation bias, and the damn thing turned out to be a hoax. And I believed it. Chris will tell you I was wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was 100% in that because I had confirmation bias.
You're so fucking wrong, Harry.
Yep.
Yeah. You're wrong.
I grew up in church, so.
Yeah. So you can continue to live the idea that the church is all wonderful and that they didn't authenticate it, but they did. Google it. Or are you going to go with the, oh, well, that's fake news? Oh, is that's the newest?
Maybe Google has manipulated
it. That's the newest thing that everybody uses. Oh, it's fake news. Oh, yeah.
Maybe Google,
it's fake
Google
news.
manipulated the story or some shit.
Yeah. Oh, Google scholars are not scholars.
Go
fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. You fucking dirty piece of shit.
Google is just repeating a news story.
Jesus Christ. Why don't you go fucking sit down with my father and watch Fox News, you dink? Fuck.
Hey, I watched something on Fox News this week.
Yeah, did you?
That UFO thing I reported on.
I don't give a shit.
I don't disagree, Harry, that there is a lot of bad scholarships or scholars going around. But when you're repeating a historical fact, it's, that can be backed up by other historical facts.
Wait a minute. Let's see. Wait a minute. I'm going to Google it right now. Let's see. Did the Mormon Church authenticate Pokemon Go is what fucking came up with
it. Pokemon Go, Mormon Church, whatever. It's the same.
All right.
Make sure it's a reputable
Mormon
source.
Scholars argued that it did not contradict the Mormon origin story because folklore was common in the 1900s, and it is a 20th century mindset that doesn't understand the foundations of folklore. At the same time, the church purported that despite it being authenticated, the letter might still have been a forgery from the time that it was made, which is exactly what I fucking said, you stupid fucking cunt. Jesus fucking Christ. Let's see. Oh, wait. Why don't you just fucking look something up instead of just blindly following your beliefs? How about that? Oh, but you have faith. Let me ask you something. If you're outside and you're freezing your fucking ass off and you don't have anything to keep you warm, are you going to sit there and have faith that you're going to get warm, or are you going to try to get fucking warm?
I'm getting my popcorn
out. I'm just curious. What you do, Harry. What do you do? Do you rely on your faith, or do you maybe try to get a fucking fire going? Just curious. Because I mean, as a man of faith, I think you'd sit there and pray, for, the good Lord to come down and make you warm. You're a very practical people. Go fucking screw. Fucking gold tablets. Fucking Christ. It's a fucking fairy tale. It's a goddamn fucking fairy tale. Faith without works is dead.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one.
Jesus. In your opinion.
I don't know how.
2 + 2 = 4 in everyone's opinion, Harry. But according to fucking the fantasy people, magic underwear and gold tablets. Where are the gold tablets anyway? I'm pretty sure gold doesn't get destroyed. This fucking amazing religion you all have. Where are your fucking gold tablets?
I don't know where the seeing stone thing is, too.
Yeah, where is it? Where are they? Joseph Smith, amazing guy. Actually, he was a fucking con man. That's the truth of the fucking matter.
Hey, Harry, what do you think about Solomon Spaulding? Oh, that'll be a sore spot.
Solomon Spaulding.
What do you think about that story?
Yeah. Come on, we'll wait for you to fucking weigh in.
I'm not saying that's 100% historical fact. I'm just wondering what you think about it.
Yeah.
Because you're a Mormon researcher. I guarantee you know that story.
And because someone will say that I'm attacking a Christian religion and not another religion, fucking Buddha can go screw. Fucking the Muslims, everybody. I whitewash the whole fucking group. Yeah. Do you feel better?
You're saying religion in general.
Yeah. Fuck everybody. If you're if you're a druid, if you're a Wiccan, just fucking go fuck yourself. I'm a mathematician. Okay, Goodwill Hunting. Then I think you should fucking be able to figure out that the equation doesn't fucking balance. How about that? You know what? I fucking know. I understand math. And if you're a fucking mathematician, then I think you would have seen that your religion is a bag of shit. It's your turn, Harry. I'm just, I'm giving you the floor.
Just enjoying the popcorn.
Yeah, that's good. Lance Windsor. Somebody lives in a world of make-believe with leprechauns and funny green hats. No, that's Frank Smith. He's the other person from Ireland in the He believes in leprechauns. I'm waiting, Harry. I'm waiting.
I wish we had more than one of them in here.
Prairie fire. Wow, pretty nasty. Well,
Are we nasty or is Harry nasty? I haven't.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably me.
We're dicks.
I've had a bad day, so he picked the wrong one. Well, let's see. You have no reason to believe otherwise, so I understand where you come from. I have a non-believing brother who acts like you. You purport to think that you understand me, that I'm a non-believing person. That's interesting. That's interesting. I just said you believe in a fairy tale.
I've read the Book of Mormon.
Yeah? Is it good? Have you seen the show?
No.
I wish Harry would drink a gallon of monkey semen and then just fucking puke himself to death.
What did Harry do to
just piss me off? It's a bad day. It's a bad day, Steve.
Right.
It's a bad day.
I mean, I'm not defending Harry at all. Harry's, wrong. Just trying to figure out what happened here.
Frank Smith, leprechauns are my religion. I fucking knew they were. You fucking Irish bastard. Prairie fire. I haven't heard such colorful metaphors. Oh, I've got a few more up my sleeve. I'm waiting for Harry. I'm waiting for his next response. So he never responded to the John Spalding? Solomon Spalding. I'm sorry.
He's probably Googling it right now.
Yeah, and then he's going to say that the Google scholars are wrong.
I live in a town that story is based on, so it's kind of funny to me.
I'm curious. I want to know what Harry's got, because so far, if you want to look at this as in terms of who's winning, it's us. We're up to 5, and fucking Harry's at 0, maybe -1. Spalding is a waste of time. That
was about the response I would expect.
Yeah, of course, because that goes against what he believes in.
I'm not saying Spalding is historically accurate. I don't know. But the church did a shit ton to cover that story up.
Of course they did. Of course they did. Because that's what church is.
So when Harry says it was a waste of time, the church certainly wasted a lot of time on that one.
Yeah, that's what churches do. They spend a lot of time covering up shit.
Shit, there's documents at the Vatican.
I would think that if you're a church that believes in truth and love and acceptance and forgiveness, that you would just come out and say everything that's going on, that you would just tell the truth about everything. I don't understand why people who are in churches have to lie about what's going on, but it happens ad nauseum throughout every fucking religion. I've yet to see one where it doesn't happen. Happens everywhere. Steve, what about Spalding do you think is so important, Steve?
It's pretty interesting that Spalding's family, and now I don't know that Spalding made the claim himself. I can't remember. It's been a while since I researched this subject, so I'm not going to be 100% accurate.
Wait, hold on a second. Guy Endor, they also do a lot of charities. Who does a lot of charities?
Well, that makes them good people.
Who does a lot of charity? Oh, so you're saying that organizations are corrupt? You are a genius. Oh, look, it's the next one, Steve. Oh, look, it's the next guy.
Spalding allegedly wrote the Book of Mormon, and Joseph Smith stole it from him. They worked at the same publisher in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
or they went through the same publisher in Pittsburgh, and Spalding's book disappeared, and Joseph Smith's book came out. So that's the gist of the story. A lot of it was based on the burial mounds in Ohio, and the giants and all that stuff, the stories of that. And I live in Conneaut, Ohio, which was where the actual story was really based. And, yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot to that story more than that, but the gist is that Smith allegedly stole that story from Spalding. And it was never meant to be a religion. It was meant to be a story.
Right. Well,
of course, Smith would have added a lot of things into it.
And Joseph Smith was a fucking con man.
Of course he was.
He was a fucking con man. Period. So you follow a religion that's based on a man that was a fucking liar.
The problem with my Spalding story is that manuscript also has not been found. Yeah. However, if it was true, the church would have buried that fucking thing deep.
Is it Captain Spalding the Clown? It was a good.
Could have been.
I don't know, Steve. I think this is what happens. This is what fucking happens with people. You question anything. Oh my God. Ooh.
I got a lot of shit when I was a church boy. I went to church. If the doors were open, I was in there, until I started questioning things, and the pastor started not liking me. And it ended up that I don't go to church.
My grandmother didn't like it when I read Genesis and said, "Why is there a city?" So,
yes, they have. There's also a lot of stuff on.
What are you referring to, Steve? You're talking and you're not. The church actually publishes
the transcripts. There's some things left out of that transcript, but we won't even go there.
Yeah, because they fucking cover shit up.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of things that the church denies.
No, you get feedback when you make broad generalizations. Organized religion is a bag of shit, guy, and you're not going to convince me otherwise.
In general, not just Mormons, not just
in general,
not just the Jehovah's Witnesses.
I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care if you're a coven of fucking witches. Go fuck yourselves.
Organized religion is what we're talking. You can be a religious person.
Yeah.
We're talking about the organization behind that.
Yes. Yes.
Trust me, I grew up in church.
You want to know who my favorite piece of shit is? My favorite piece of shit, Steve? Joel Osteen.
Oh, yeah.
Joel Osteen is my favorite piece of shit. This bag of fucking dog shit who has $1 million something fucking home and jets and all kinds of fucking lavish bullshit. But you preach the word of Jesus Christ, a man who lived like a fucking pauper. Go fucking screw. A man who wallowed in the filth of human society and praised them, and you live in a fucking mansion. Joel Osteen is the biggest dirtbag on the face of the fucking planet.
The look on your face, I knew something good was coming.
Oh, he's just a
disgusting human being.
He's a
and people follow him. Lots of people.
Like, his soul has to smell worse than my taint. And I don't always do a good job, Steve. So I bet it's pretty horrid.
I'm not going to, vouch because I don't know. I don't want to know.
I wish that I could remember. To get back to the Mormon shit anyway.
Pat Robertson, again, another piece of shit. Yeah. Look what happens to these people. They are this glorious person, and I'm sure even Joseph Smith went through a lot of shit. He did a lot of stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
But Pat Robertson did a lot of stupid shit. What's that other guy we were talking about not that long ago? Oh, shit. What's his name? Kenneth Copeland. Look at these people.
God.
They're all bags of shit.
I'm going to blow COVID away. Go fuck yourself.
And those are just, I grew up in the Assemblies of God, if anybody wants to know. What was it? Jimmy Swaggart, I think, was the king of that religion or that denomination for a while. I'm not saying anything bad. There's great people in these churches. I'm sure there's a lot of great Mormons. I've met some. I know some. Yeah. They're great people. Yeah. They just believe in something that's probably not real. It's like belief in Bigfoot, same thing.
Yeah. Hey, and I'm going to tell you right now, Harry, if it works for you, if you're happy, have fun, enjoy.
Prove me wrong.
But don't try to tell me that it's the gospel, because it fucking ain't. No one on this planet's going to convince me that anything's the gospel, because it was written by the hand of man. Anything I see is written by the fucking hand of man, and I don't trust a fucking man on this planet.
It was inspired by Moroni.
Oh, macaroni?
You're one of your deities is named Morons.
Morona? Like, really?
Moroni,
that's what you come up with? God almighty.
Well, I'm sure that wasn't, there was no moron.
That was the second draft? The problem with here we go. The problem with broad generalizations is it usually comes from a bigoted position. I'm the most open-minded motherfucker out there, guy. So fuck you. Fuck you. Less than enlightened.
Put Mormon in the title. We get viewers, man. We should do this more often.
Yeah.
We'll do Jehovah's Witnesses next week.
Yeah. I've always what I've always wanted to do is find out when they're coming and then put a chalk outline outside my door with a bunch of those Watchtower magazines all over the place.
Or catch up.
Yeah. Yeah. Make it look really good.
some shell casings.
Yeah, I don't fucking get people.
I grew up a religious dude, and I don't know what I believe anymore. That's the problem.
This is good. This is good. This is good. Atheists speak from a position of non-knowledge. Atheists do not have a knowledge of God. First of all, Harry, I never said I was an atheist. I said I don't believe what you believe. There's a big difference. I don't believe in the bullshit of the organized church. And I have not for a long time. So you act like I come from a position where I don't know anything. I grew up in an extremely religious family. You fuck. So my grandmother, you know what my grandmother used to do with me when I was a kid? She used to do Bible trivia.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I have one of those Bible games upstairs. Yeah. It has all the trivia questions.
I used to do a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
So I have a very good understanding. It's what turned me away from religion.
It's generally
made me
religious
look
people
into a lot of religions. Now, I maybe haven't looked into everything. I maybe haven't looked into every little nook and cranny. Growing up in a Bible family doesn't mean you know God. I never fucking said it did. You fucking over-exaggerated piece of shit. What I'm saying is that I have an understanding of things, and that I fucking looked into a lot of different religions because I had questions, and I did my own research. But you continue to have your faith. You continue, and I will continue to have my faith. which is that God is not this all good thing in the fucking sky. Because that doesn't make sense to me. And if you're a mathematician, I'm surprised it makes sense to you.
Faith is the never mind. I'm not going to repeat it.
The only
belief in
understanding
things
of
not seen.
what is it? Does everything you fucking say have to sound like it comes out of a fucking fortune cookie?
So can I ask Harry? That's assuming there is a God. We don't know.
I fucking oh God. Yeah. You don't have a fucking clue.
You know about as much as about as I do. I mean, you have to assume. You have to take leaps of faith.
Fucking your faith and assumptions.
And I'm not saying it isn't true. I'm not saying it isn't real. There could be a God. For sure. There could be a God. We talked about space aliens earlier. There could be space aliens.
Space alien gods.
There could be.
I don't know.
And I'm not being a dick when I say that. We don't know.
You don't know. That is correct. And you know what, Harry? Neither do you. Neither do you.
Harry, I'm going to tell you a little bit. Well, yes, he does. But Harry, I'm going to tell you a little secret about Steve here. I grew up in a Christian church, Assemblies of God, for example, or it was the church I went to. I believed in all of it. Okay, I grew up believing in it all. I performed all the rituals, all the things you're supposed to do as a Christian. I spoke in tongues.
I know.
I spoke in tongues, and I found out emotion can make you think and do things that
you don't know what I know. You haven't had my experiences. Oh, tell me more, you 68-year-old sage of wisdom. You don't know what I know.
Best show ever. What's up, Katie?
I find it fascinating that he said he was previously Lutheran. I grew up Lutheran, and I don't know. I find that fascinating that he could make that leap from Lutheran
I kind of
to Mormon. That is quite intriguing.
Yeah. Put on your magic underwear, Harry.
Hey, Harry, how old were you when you made that leap? I mean, if he was like a kid, I can get that.
Yeah, how old were you, Harry?
Impressionable or whatever.
Please tell me really old.
37. I want to hear 37. 24. Well, still pretty young and impressionable, I suppose. Did he ever answer you how many wives he has?
I'm going to just refer to him as Big Love from now on. So Big Love, just, do tell how many wives you've had at one time.
I don't think they believe in that anymore, even though, it's in their doctrine.
It's on the down low, Steve. It's on the down low. It's hush hush.
I don't think that's another sect of the religion that, Harry won't talk about.
That's right. Because that makes them look bad. Yeah, I get it. It's like the Catholics don't like to talk about the pedophiles because that makes them look bad. What does you having one son and mother is no longer with us have anything to do with that? I wasn't asking about your family history.
Just how many wives? I'm going to assume that means one.
Yeah.
Good for you, Harry.
Yeah, there you go.
We found some redeeming quality in Harry.
Oh, okay. It's hard. It's hard, Harry, when you're so broken up with your text. I can't. Just respond.
I've had more wives than Harry. That's pretty amazing.
Just one. Wow, good for him.
One at a time.
So he's small love, not big love, Steve. We'll call him small love.
Oh, this is so fun.
Yeah.
And Harry's being a pretty damn good sport about it too. That's pretty,
Every once in a while, you get a good sport, like a fuck Dean Cooper, and maybe a Harry. I don't know. And then you get a cunt like that one that just said something that I'm not even going to mention his fucking name. But anyway, to get back to the whole documentary, yes. So Mark Hoffman, when I said at the beginning that he was, I don't know if I did. I think he was referred to as like a rock star in the document community. And then they found out how he was forging all of this stuff. I can't remember all of the details of how he did this shit, but it was incredible. Like the links that he went to, and the little things that he was able to do to be able to create the inks exactly like they made them so that they would come up the same. And I think it was a cracking in the ink that they found was what busted him. It was one of the things that busted him. Because it shouldn't have been present. And the FBI and all these other agencies missed it when they went through to authenticate these documents. It's just absolutely amazing what this guy, I mean, really it is. You can say what you want about the guy. He's a killer. You know, he's a forger, counterfeiter.
So what was his end game, though?
I honestly think he hated the Mormon religion so much that he just wanted to discredit it. Because at the end of the documentary, what you find out is that he had like this magnum opus planned, which was the rest of the book, the missing parts of the Book of Mormon. Like he was going to write the end of the Book of Mormon, I guess, or whatever, and put it out. And he never got a chance to because he obviously got caught. But
I wish he had, though. I'd like to see what he came up with. But
I mean, the stuff that he came up with, like, you know, you watch like movies or shows about like, you know, grifters or con men and people who like pull this type of shit. And then to see this guy, you know, this fucking just nerd of a fucking guy.
Fooled the FBI. That's
fooled
pretty good.
Everybody.
But why did he hate the church? That's what I want to know. Why? What was it that, I mean, he grew up
Mormon. Because he grew up Mormon.
And realized
and he decided he decided at one point that he was an atheist. And I think that's when he just wanted to just discredit the church. You know. Now I don't agree with the way that he was trying to go about it.
No, killing people. That's pretty rough. Yeah.
The killing people was trying to cover his own ass, I think. But with the forged documents, I mean, I think that he should have just gone after the religion. I mean, the religion itself can be fucking torn down easily.
Oh, it's easy.
If you ask me. I mean, I've seen enough fucking Joe Rogan episodes of him fucking just tearing down Joseph Smith.
You don't even have to tear down Joseph Smith. Just read it.
Yeah. Just fucking read it. That's why I say, like, I don't believe in silencing people, because you can just listen to them and decide that they're fucking morons. It's pretty easy. So, anything, Katie?
I think greed was a huge factor too. He was making big money and living a big flashy life, making money off all these documents.
He was buying fucking flashy cars. He was buying guns. He was doing all kinds of crazy shit.
He was making sales over $100,000 on like a weekly basis. And this was back in the 80s. I mean, that wasn't a small chunk of money. So
do you think the people that he bombed, the people he killed, obviously not the woman, but the other guy, did they know?
I don't think anybody knew until after.
So why did he take him out? I mean, what was the benefit of that?
I don't know. Maybe to try to make it look like these documents were important. But I don't know, like, I don't know that anything that he said about it would be, because he's a liar. He's a fucking liar. This guy is a straight up fucking liar. His wife didn't know. Like, she had no clue. He set her up. The first document that he ever found, the one that was supposedly transferred from the gold plates directly to the paper by Joseph Smith, he set it up in an old Bible. He actually like glued the pages together around the document that he put in there, left it on the table, and his wife like was just leafing through it and came upon the stuck together page. She says, "Oh, there's something in here." And of course he came over all like, "Oh, really?" Like, so he used her. He even used his own wife. Like, it's crazy to me that like the lengths that some of these guys will go to, and even guys and women.
He probably got a little fame off that first one, and then just couldn't stop.
Yeah, it went right to his head, But yeah, I just listen. I think that the way that he went about it was completely wrong. Like, telling lies to prove that something's a lie, it just doesn't. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. If you want to investigate something and find out the truth, that's different. But I just think that people that try to destroy an organization by lying about it's the same thing as like cops tampering with evidence or falsifying evidence. It's the same thing. It destroys the case completely, and it destroys the credibility of the person. So I don't know. I just, this one was one I was just like, wow.
I mean, you got people who come out against religion. Look at Leah Remini. I mean, we've talked about her. She's doing it the right way. She's discrediting that church from experience.
And she's using other people who are getting out and using their experiences, and Scientology is just declining. That religion. I hope that in our lifetime, Steve, we see Scientology fall. I seriously hope so.
I don't think it'll completely fall, but I mean, there's always going to be believers.
I hope they fall.
To be honest, I'm surprised Mormonism is still around.
Yeah,
and it's always amazed me that it is, and Jehovah's Witnesses. That Latter-day Saints.
What is it? What is this? With their 100,000 people? That's it.
144,000.
144,000. Way more Jehovah's Witnesses than 144,000.
What about the 145th?
Yeah, you fucked, Steve. You don't get in. You don't get in. Even if you've been a good Jehovah's Witness your whole life, there's only room for 144,000. No more. That's it.
I'm standing in the line. They shut the fucking gates, and I'm the next guy in. That would fucking suck, man.
Hey, yeah, I'm sorry. To hell you go.
And they truly believed. I don't know if the church still believes that, but when I was a kid, I remember talking to Jehovah's Witnesses. I had friends that
I had a bunch,
and they believed it was only 144,000.
Absolutely,
that's it. No more, no less.
See, I think I heard that the explanation to that is that it's only 144,000 of the living people. That if you died of Mormon or whatever it is, if you died as that, you count and you're in. But when the end of the world comes and it's out of the living
when the
people,
end of the world comes, there's only going to be 144,000 Jehovah's Witnesses left.
I don't know. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true, but I heard that recently. That's their justification for it.
Yeah. Maybe Harry can figure out the math on that one for us, since he's a mathematician.
Well, Harry would tell you that that church is wrong.
Well, yeah,
I'm sure.
Yes, of course. They're wrong.
Mormonism is the only true religion.
His fucking fake guy in the sky is okay, but the other one is wrong. I gotcha. Buddha. Is Buddha okay? I kind of like Buddha. Buddha.
Yeah, Harry. I mean, that's the problem with Jehovah's Witnesses. I have a cousin, and there's a lot of
who had an injury and died because he wasn't allowed to have a blood transfusion. Yeah,
that's fucked up.
Yeah.
But people still go to that church.
Absolutely, people still
get new recruits all the time. They're the laughing stock of all religions, besides maybe Scientology. But they're the laughing stock, and people still convert.
That's right, because people are stupid.
Yeah, I growing up went to a Lutheran school, and I actually in high school had a comparative religions class, and we were just finishing up a lesson on Jehovah's Witnesses, and I was doing half days of school at the time, and right as I was getting home, there happened to be a Jehovah's Witness coming and knocking on doors, and I was like, "Oh, honey, you picked the wrong day to come knocking on my door." I sat on the front step for like 10 minutes, and he eventually got up and closed his book and shook my hand and told me I had to have a nice day. I was like, yeah, you're
you
not.
know how to get a Jehovah. You get a Jehovah's Witness to leave real quick. Ask
Oh,
them to
yeah.
come in and pray with you.
Yeah, it's so fun.
They don't do that anymore. They'll just leave the literature now. They don't try to convert you.
Yeah, no, I've never understood it. I've never understood people going on their missions. You know,
Harry's been on a mission when he was
having
30.
to go to other fucking countries and spread the fucking word of God. Like, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure that God is going to be, if there exists such a being, in your case, you think it's a man. It's not, but, you know, is going to be upset if some fucking tribe out in fucking Africa that's never seen the light of fucking technology or day believes in something else other than him, that they're all fucking doomed to eternal fire.
Look at how many variations of Christianity there are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
they can't
and actually,
all be right.
That's his ELCA or LCMS question. That's about Lutheranism. There's two different sects of Lutheranism, and I was LCMS. Have not attended in well over a decade, but
hey, I mean, and religion's always a touchy subject for me. I do not like it. I don't like it. Don't fucking like it. Yeah, don't like it. I am not a fan of organized religion. I am furthermore not a fan of organized religions that take steps to silence people. And any religion that does that, in my opinion, is not worth anything. It's not worth anyone's time, let alone mine.
If your doctrine is factual, or you believe it's factual, why do you need to cover any of it up?
Yeah. If your doctrine is the truth, then why do things need to be covered up? Yep. That is a great question, Steve.
Your doctrine should stand up to the falsehoods of somebody else.
Right. It shouldn't even be a question, because it should be so fucking concrete that there should be no question. Fucking Christ.
Because there's only one Joseph Smith.
That's right. Yeah, he's right and we're wrong, Steve. He knows everything. This guy has a fucking answer for everything.
I grew up in church. I had an answer for everything too. You know, I did.
And
why is this that? Well, because of this, you know, and it's not that they program, I guess they do, but you know, they don't say, okay, this is how you defend yourself. You just grow up thinking a different way when you're a Christian or when you go to church. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I don't know at this point in my life.
I think it's if you grow up in any type of religion.
Yeah, I can't commit to saying there is or isn't a God at this point. I'd love to be able to say yes. Love to.
Oh, I believe there's a creator.
I don't know.
I believe there is, but I don't think that it's a he or a she.
Well, it would be, you know, binary, I'm sure.
Oh, do we have to go there with the Godhead?
Well, you're trying to assign gender.
No, I'm saying that we should not assign gender to the creator.
You're right. If there is such a thing, yes. How do you know?
You can believe what you want, Steve. I'm good with that. Yeah.
How do you know?
I don't. My belief is that it doesn't make sense otherwise. Like, it doesn't make sense to me otherwise.
Certain things don't make sense to me.
Yeah,
but others do.
It's you know, it's going to be an ongoing question for humanity. It'll be here long after you and I are gone, Steve.
I was so against evolution, let's say, when I was younger, because you know, I grew up in church and we didn't believe in evolution.
Right.
But then they started changing their stance on evolution. Well, God used evolution. So now what am I supposed to fucking think? You told me when I was 5, I'm not supposed to believe in this, but when I was 15, I'm supposed to. It's okay. Or homosexuality, for example. It's the worst thing you could possibly be back in the 80s. But today, it's not so bad. It's still bad. It's just not as bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So how can a religion that's set in stone change like that in that many years? Because it's not set in stone.
Steve, it's because they got a constitution and they just got to amend it.
Yeah. Did God's words change?
Hey,
did Joseph Smith's words change?
Yeah. Well, see, they put little things in there like that. Like in the Catholic religion, it's like if the Pope says that it is true, then it is, sort of thing. That then they put it in the hands of men, and then it's all fucked up. You put anything in the hands of fucking humans, we'll fuck it up every time. We'll fuck it up. It's like that Tool song. You fucking give them thumbs, they'll fucking forge a club and beat their brother down. We're fucking stupid monkeys.
Okay, first, Harry says that you're a one-man organization, so you have organized religion.
I'm a one-man organization. Fucking, you're right.
And then he goes on to say, yes, God's word can change.
Oh.
Yeah. Really? So the meaning behind, we're supposed to believe that the Book of Mormon or the Bible is the spoken word of God to man.
Until they decide to change it.
Until something changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the rule.
Which guy do we allow to make the changes? Yeah, Moses gave us changes.
He did, and right, he's right. There's the New Testament and there's the Old Testament, right? And I'm glad we don't live in an Old Testament world. That would suck. Yeah, I don't want to sacrifice.
Wait, Frank Smith, Chris, you have converted me to your organization. We're now a two-man organization, Harry. I have Frank, and we are multinational. He's in Ireland. I am in the United States, so we are now a multinational organization. Me and Frank Smith. Jesus gave us changes.
Yeah, but we believe
fucking water into wine.
This book was written 2,000 years ago, and we're supposed to believe that is the word of God. You can't change it. In fact, in the book itself, it says you can't change it.
Yeah, you can't change anything, but yet now you're telling us we can change it.
Because God tells us we can. But yet in that book, he told us not to. Until Joseph Smith came along and wrote a whole new book.
He also told Abraham to kill his son.
Yeah.
False
and then changed it.
Every one of you. Oh, my dear Christ. Oh, by God.
Harry, you were doing so good.
Yeah, you were doing really well. Doing really well. Somebody asked me recently, like, if who I would want to speak to if I could speak to one person dead who has been dead. And I surprised that person. And I surprised that person when I said, Jesus Christ. But I said it with a caveat.
Yes.
If he existed.
So my belief was that Jesus did exist.
I believe he existed.
When I was in church, my belief now is that Jesus is many people.
Peter Higgins is in. We are now a 3-man organization. I'm from Scotland. I can help too. We are now across 3 different countries.
You're going to start taking offerings and get some tithe.
We will be taking tithes.
You could be the next Joel Osteen.
If I was Joel Osteen, I can guarantee you I would have topless cheerleaders every time I fucking came up on stage.
How do you know?
And for the record, bottomless men.
Yeah, I could do both.
I'd go both, Steve. I'm a fan of everyone.
Maybe he actually does have that in his mansion. You just don't know it.
Just do one of those chorus line type things where they're all just like putting their legs up and the guy's dicks are like swinging back while their legs are going. I'm doing it, Steve. That's it. We're a 3-man organization. I'm taking it all the way.
I bet you
I'm gonna write a fucking book. I'm gonna write a book, as I said, this is an example of how a false religion start. Oh, you mean like yours, Harry?
Wait, you just started a false religion?
I just started a false
Wow.
religion, and it is exactly like Joseph Smith's. I'm gonna find some gold tablets under a rock, Steve.
What?
And I'm
only if Moroni or somebody such as Moroni.
Frank Smith, will you accept potatoes as a tribute, Chris? No, we will not have a potato-based religion. That's a great reference, though, Frank, by the way. But we will, Frank, we will worship the big head in the sky. We will worship the big head in the sky. And our mantra will be, show me what you got.
I guess I can't join this religion because I have no idea what any of those references are. Hey, why don't you try to convert Harry?
Convert Harry to my new religion?
Yeah.
I got to figure out what it is first, Steve. I got to sit down and I haven't been visited by my my spirit guide. So
your religion has spirit guides?
Well, you know, Joseph Smith, he was visited by Moroni, and Moses was God spoke to him. Well, actually,
through
I mean, if you read the Bible, if you read the translated version of the Bible, it says that God said, "I am God," but that's not what it said to Moses. It said, "I am that I am." So
depends. Well, you got to remember there are several translations. You got to figure out which one's right.
It pretty much said, "I am that I am."
You know, man interpreted the Bible.
Maybe that's what man interpreted as "I am God," which is totally wrong. Just like Jehovah's Witnesses believe that it's pronounced Jehovah, which is totally fucking wrong.
Sure.
But anyhow, so the documentary. What are you trying to say, Harry? Like, we fucking talked about the documentary. We're done with that shit. Well,
some dude blew up some people because he didn't want to get caught.
Yeah, Peter Higgins. I'll bring the haggis and the whiskey. Sounds good, my friend.
I'm just going to be a bystander. I'm not joining your religion.
You're not going to join?
Fuck no.
The fucking, what is it? The fucking cult of the spaghetti monster is like already taken, Steve. I can't do that one.
I wouldn't join that one either.
Yeah.
I like to eat spaghetti.
What was that? What was that fucking religion there?
Sure
the Kingdom of Slack.
Ooh,
do you remember that one?
Sounds intriguing.
Oh, I can't remember that. I can't do that one though because that one's already fucking created. I gotta
Church of Elvis. Gone. Done.
Frank Smith, he predicts we shall be visited by a leprechaun carrying a golden tablet wearing magic underwear. So I will be presented my tablet, Steve, from a leprechaun.
I don't want to see any of your tablets. It just scares me. Does it have to be gold? I mean, silver is a little cheaper.
Harry Abel Potter. Again, that was the whole documentary. I knew more than that. You know everything, Harry. So I don't think I could I couldn't inform you about anything because you know more than I do. Because you know that the church didn't authenticate it when I know for a fact that they did. So
proven by a simple Google search.
You know more than fucking everybody. So I don't know how I can inform you anymore about this documentary that I told basically the whole story. And the show is usually only an hour to an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. But, you know, I'm sorry that I couldn't inform you enough about something that you needed to know more about when you're a fucking know-it-all.
That hurt my ear.
I hope it did.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Because this motherfucker's hurting my brain tonight. God. Steve is the head. Steve is the head of the Sweetwater Legend Church. Absolutely. Dave Harrington. Chris, can I join? I really need a pair of underwear. We're up to 4. Dave, where do you hail from? We've got to find out how far-reaching this new religion is going to be.
Dave is in California.
Well then, fucking, we are spanning the globe at this point. If I can get somebody in Australia to jump on board, we are going to be fucking in business, Steve.
I'm pretty sure Harry's probably from Utah since he's so devoted.
You hail from where my ex-girlfriend is from, Steve. Oh, state of California.
I'm sure he's nowhere near her.
Oh,
he doesn't think anything like her. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I wonder how she's doing nowadays.
We're not even going to talk about that one. I wonder if she listens to your show still. You think?
I don't know.
I know she did for a while.
She might. Yeah. I don't know. I don't hold nothing against her.
Not anymore.
I think it's funny who she fucking married. But hey, that's what it is. It is what it is. Anywho,
yeah, you just
we'll wrap this shit up, Steve. We went a little long tonight.
Oh yeah, well, it was Harry's fault.
No, fucking Harry, he ruined it. Anyway, this has been the Fortean Slip, episode 181, Murder Among the Mormons. Give us a little like, a little thumbs up. We're on YouTube again, so you can, I can say give us a little, give us a thumbs up. We're on Twitch too. No, nobody fucking watches on Twitch, but we're on there. Later on this evening, you can download the podcast version of the show at anchor.fm/the Fortean Slip or wherever you download podcasts. We are on Stitcher. We are on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, wherever the fuck you fucking download podcasts, you can find the Fortean Slip. As always, go check out our good friend Dreadfun at dreadfun.com and youtube.com/dreadfun. Check out Bronx Johnny over at High Society Radio. Those guys are always doing
Bronx Johnny would join your religion.
Fucking Bronx Johnny would definitely join my religion. That means I would have New York City representation. I'm gonna have to talk to Johnny. We might have to have him on the show just to fucking induct him into the religion. This is going down.
I am an ordained minister,
Well, we might have to make this happen. This might have to happen. And as always, go check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/the Fortean Slip. Of course, they're not recommending it to anyone anymore. They informed me of that the other day in a notification.
Because they suck.
But somehow I still manage to get people on there, but my numbers don't go up, but they do. It's so fucking strange. I can't explain it. And as always, check out the Fortean Slip bedtime stories.
Probably run by Mormons.
Yeah. Check out the Fortean Slip bedtime stories. Those are also up as a podcast. You can just search for the Fortean Slip bedtime stories and you should be able to find them pretty much wherever. I think the only place I don't have it is on Stitcher. So, the last one I read was now I can't remember. I think it was an Ambrose Bierce story. But I've read some books. I read Alice in Wonderland. I read The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. I read an Edgar Rice Burroughs book. I can't remember the name of it. It was a Journey to the Center of the Earth type book. But I've read a lot of shit on there. So hopefully those of you that are listening enjoy it. So and we will be back next week with another show. I don't know about what yet.
Not religious at all.
No
religious. Well, maybe
we're gonna stray away from that one. Maybe I should only do shows on religion.
You get it. You get. Maybe Harry will come back, or somebody like Harry.
Yeah, maybe Harry will be a return listener. Maybe.
Coming back, Harry?
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out next week. Until then, see ya!